In OSI, all these 7 layers are there, and then another model is the TCP/IP. Okay, they function of both the models are same, but only thing is that in TCP/IP, few layers are combined together and they are made 4 layers out of 7 layers. TCP in the TCP/IP, they are converted into 4 layers. Okay, so this functionality of application, presentation, and session combined together and put into this application layer. Then transport layer is same, network layer is same, and again the functionality of physical and data link layer combined together and put into a single layer, and that layer is known as network interface. Okay, so OSI model has 7 layers, TCP/IP model has 4 layers, and the names are network interface, network, transport, and application. Functionalities are same. Only thing is that instead of having the functionality divided into 7 layers, these functionalities are divided into 4 layers, like functionality of 3 layers combined together and kept into application, and the functionality of physical and data link layer combined together and kept into the network interface. So sometimes they ask how to compare. Question we can be compare OSI and TCP/IP model. Okay. Then about addressing, we already discussed there are 3 types of address: physical address or MAC address, IP address or logical address, and port address. Now this physical address is used at data link layer, IP address provided by network layer, port address works at the transport layer. Okay. So now we will study about a just brief description of these 3 addresses, because we have to study these addresses in the detail. So this is how at the transport layer these two protocols works, TCP and UDP, and they both protocols uses this port address. Port address is an unique identification of a particular application which is running on a machine. In one machine there can be running multiple applications. So to identify individual unique application, we need a port number, port address. Okay, so like for mailing there will be a one port address, for HTTP service there will be a one port address, for FTP file transfer service there will be one port address, to identify unique or different applications which are running on any single machine. Then IP address is a address given to a machine. Okay, and it is given by the network layer. So the protocols which work on the network layer, like IP protocol, ICMP, IGMP, all they uses this IP address. Then data link layer that provides hope to hope delivery or end to end, hope to hope delivery or host to host, that uses physical address, that MAC address. Okay, and the same MAC address is used at the physical layer. So these are 3 types of addresses and layers. Now this, the first we call it as a MAC address or a physical address. Mainly we call it as a Ethernet address also. See, there can be different types of network. There can be OSI model, ATM network. So there, this MAC address can be different. But in general, mostly machines uses that MAC address. About that we will discuss here. So you see here, these are the different machines, and every machine is having a unique, a different MAC address, physical address. So this machine is having a physical address 10. This machine is having a physical address 87. So, and this data link layer will add this physical address of the source machine, physical address of the destination machine, and in the trailer part, what information will be kept into the trailer part? So this information will come into the header part. This data is what it has received from the upper layers. Okay. And what information will be kept into the trailer part?
The error correction one.
Error correction information. Very good. Okay. Now, this thing is this mostly local area networks, mostly LANs, they uses this 48-bit 6 bytes of physical address. And this physical address is written into a 12 hexadecimal digits, 12 hexadecimal digits, and every 2 bytes separated by a hyphen. So this your MAC address, physical address, hardware address. Some machines it is known as hardware address. In some machine it is known as physical address. In some machine it is known as MAC address. All are same thing. The size of this MAC address is 48 bit. 48 bit. It means 6 bytes, and all these 6 bytes are represented by 12 hexadecimal digits. So this is how your MAC address or hardware address will look like. So this is how your hardware address will be presented. Then internet address, that IP address. Okay, IP address is when this machine wants to transfer something. So this machine will write source IP of this machine and destination IP of destination machine. Now suppose we want to send something from machine, this is a source machine, and this machine, this is our destination machine. And this machine has IP address as A and MAC address as 10. And this destination machine has IP address as P and MAC address as 95. And we know that when this machine transfers the data, it transfers the data to the next node, to the next hop, to the next router or next gateway to which it is directly connected. Okay. So when this machine, network layer of this machine will prepare a packet. So along with that data, the network layer, third layer, it will put the data which it has received from the transport layer, and it will add source IP address as A and destination IP address as P. So this is our destination machine with the IP address P. Now this data, this part of the data will be given to the data link layer. Now data link layer will add source MAC address or physical address of this machine as 10, but destination MAC address will not be of this destination machine. The destination MAC address will be of the next router to which it is sending, to the next hop, the next host. So that's why we call it as a hop to hop delivery. So here it will write source MAC address of this machine, destination MAC address of this router where it is transmitting. Now you see here, this router is connected to two networks. This is connected to one network which is using bus topology. You remember topologies now? So here there is one single common line on which these different machines are connected. So this network, this router is connecting these two different types of network. So this is connected to this network on this particular interface, this interface. So on every interface, it will have a different MAC address and different IP address. So this router is having F as an IP address for this interface and 20 as a MAC address for this interface. Now the same router is connected to this ring network. Ring network is using ring topology, and it is connected to this network on this particular interface where the IP address of this router on this interface is T and MAC address of this router on this interface is 99. Now this machine A is sending the data to this router on this interface. So it will write MAC address of this interface, that is 20. When this router will receive this, now it has to change MAC address, source MAC address as its own address, and destination MAC address to of the next router, because now this is the sender, because the task of the data link layer is only from this hop to this hop. Okay, so this data link layer or this knows only about this next hop. So this is source and this is destination. Now the data link layer of this router has to replace source MAC address as its own MAC address and destination MAC address of the next router to which it is connected. Okay, so here this router is connected to this router on this interface. So this routers on this interface, IP address is N and MAC address is 33. So now it will change that part, header part. This is the data link layer ka header part, this blue part is na. So it will change those values. It will look that is known as packet processing. It will open that packet, look into it and change this value. See here, IP address is same, source IP address and destination IP address is same. It is not changed. But this thing is changed. Now the source MAC address is 99 from this interface to 33 to this interface. Okay. Now again, when this router will receive this information, it will replace its MAC address, source MAC address as its own MAC address and destination MAC address of that machine, because now this machine is directly connected to this router on this particular interface. Now it will change this MAC address, source MAC address of its own 66 and destination MAC address of this machine 95. So this source MAC address and destination MAC address keeps on changing on every router it visits on the way till the time it reaches to the destination. But this IP address, source IP and destination IP remains same. Any doubt in this, whatever I have explained? Is it clear to you? Anyone have any doubt? Should I repeat anything
Hello,
from?
ma'am.
Yes, yes.
Ma'am, but IP keeps on changing. No?
IP keeps on changing. In what sense, bache? Like for machines IP, na?
Yeah.
If I move from my network to your another network, it keeps on changing. But once I'm sending a packet, in that packet it won't change. Now I'll send to the IP which I know. If I know that your machine is connected on a network 192.168.0.20, okay, so that is a my IP address in my record. I'll put your IP address of that and I will transmit. Now, if you move from that network to some other part, the in between routers, na, they know where they have to forward it. And they will forward using this combination of MAC address and IP address. This is like your cell phone. You have purchased a SIM card of a Mumbai region and you are staying in a dadar, so you are getting a signal from the dadar. So the dadar at that base station, your entries are there that this particular sim card belongs to this Mumbai region. But if you go from Mumbai to some other state, suppose you go to south, still your sim card will work, will be able to reach to you,
Yes.
because initially you are registered there, but when you will move from here na, so your base station will record your where you are moving. Okay, it will pass your information to the next base station. Wherever you, in the next base station, wherever you will receive the signal na, they will send that information back to your home location. The same way this happens in this networking. The routers, they are that intelligent devices, they all are connected, they keep on exchanging the information. If some machine moves from one network to another network na, still they are able to find out that machine. Okay, so
Okay.
if you're sending something for my machine, suppose, okay, and right now I am connected to my home network, but if I go to the college, there also I'll receive. My network is changed, but still I'll receive, because the things, the router will find out this particular MAC address now on which network it is connected. So IP address of machine can keep on changing, but the IP address which we have written in the packet, this is, we are talking about the packet which is in the transmission, that will not change, because the source machine will write that address and transmit it. So if we send something to Google, like we search something to the Google, what we do, we type google.com, but google.com exists on some IP address now. So that IP address is a destination IP address, and our machine's ka IP address is our source IP address. So any other doubt in this? Should I repeat something? Is this clear? So when this machine prepares packet, that time it will write source IP as its own IP and destination IP of the destination machine. Okay. This IP address, there are two protocols which we use, IPv4 and IPv6. IPv6 is still, we are in the transition, like we are all have not shifted to the IPv6, that we'll study in detail. Mainly we use this IPv4 still. Okay, so this IP address size is 32-bit. If you are using IPv4, then it is 32-bit. If we are using IPv6, then the size of this IP address is 128-bit. 128-bit. And this 32-bit IP address is represented like this octet. Okay, so 132.24.75.9, okay, like this. So this IP address of 4 bytes or 32 bits is represented using this decimal dotted decimal notation. And if you are using IPv6, then it is the size is 128 bit. Then
Ma'am, in IPv6, how it is represented?
in
IP
IPv6,
address.
yeah, I'll show. Okay, I'll show by example. Okay, so now this port number. Now MAC address was used by data link layer. IP address was used by network layer. Now port number. So when this data is prepared by application layer, then presentation layer will format it into the common format, and then session layer will put checkpoints, and then it will create a session, and then the data will be given to the transport layer. Transport layer will add port number. Port number is the application running on that particular machine. So if we are using HTTP, so HTTP port number of the client which we are running on our machine, and the port number of the server to which server process to which we are trying to connect. So when we type google.com in the browser, it means there is in the browser one application, one client process is running for HTTP. And when we try to connect to the google.com, so the server where this google.com on that particular machine, that web pages are kept of that google.com, there a server process is running which is running on a port number 80, because the applications, standard applications which run on the servers, they are given fixed port number so that anybody can identify and connect to them. Okay, so this client process which is running on the sender's machine will put port number of this sender and port number of the server process running on the server machine. Okay, so J is the source port number of the client process running on this machine A, and K is a destination port number of a server process running on a machine P. Now this data is given to network layer. Now network layer will make this J and K port number as a part of the data itself and add source IP and the destination IP. Now this is given to the data link layer. Data link layer, what it will do, it will consider the this JKAP as a part of the data, and in the header it will put MAC address of this machine and destination MAC address of the next host, the next machine, the next router to which it is connected, and that information come into the header part. Okay, all these are, this information comes into the header part, and then it will add the trailer and give, pass it over the internet, and every hope that source MAC address, destination MAC address keep on changing till the time it reaches to the destination machine. At the destination side, here, this data link layer receives this, removes this header part, check that information is correct using this trailer information stored in the trailer part, error correction information, and then remove this trailer and header part and hand over this the information to the network layer. Network layer removes this source IP address and make a destination IP address because it is reached to that machine, and now hand over this data to the transport layer. Now transport layer knows that this data belongs to which application. Then this transport layer will not deliver your HTTP response to your mail and your mail to browser, okay, because it knows where it has to give that response. And based on this port number, now these port numbers are removed at the transport layer, and the data is given to the data application layer, to a particular application for which that data was transmitted. So this is how these things work on the network. So any doubt in this till now, whatever we have discussed?
No,
where
ma'am.
port
Clear.
where port address works, yeah, where network address, this IP address, and where this MAC address. Okay, so port number also we are going to study in detail, but this port number is used 16-bit address, 16-bit address, and this is represented like this, 16-bit or our decimal value only. So in the 16-bit, how many decimal values we can have? 2 raised to power 16. Okay, so it is 65,535 or 36, something like that. So we can have that many number of port numbers. Okay, starting from 0 to 65,535, I guess. Okay, so the port number size is 16-bit. Now you tell me MAC address size. How many bits we use for MAC address? Just now I told. Hmm? Just we discussed. MAC address size
48.
48. Yes, 48 bit. Remember this thing. This is very important. MAC address size is mainly again that varies on your network. If you're using ATM, then it will be different. Okay, not ATM machine. There is ATM network. Okay, uh, but mostly LANs uses that Ethernet address, MAC address. The size is 48 bit. Size of IPv4 address. Size of IPv4 address
32 bit.
32 bits. Yes. IPO size of IPv6 address
128 bit.
128 bit. Yes. And size of port number
16 bit. 16.
16 bit. Yes. So to summarize, the size of MAC address is 48 bit. Size of IPv4 is 32 bit. Size of IPv6 is 128 bit. And the size of port number is 16 bit. Okay. Now see how we can check our addresses. So in the command prompt, if I give command ipconfig -all, okay, see here. Are you able to see my command prompt now?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Now you see here. So this is showing all the configuration here, huh? And see this here. This we want to provide more secure, like employees information or financial information, then our general administrative information. So we can put that information into a separate segment and provide a more security. Then that common general information. And when we want to connect to VLAN to the LAN, so all these are the reasons why we need to interconnect. So for interconnecting, we need different devices. So these are different devices. First, that layer device is hub or repeater. They work on this physical layer. Passive hub and active hub, these are the two types. Then this bridge or two-layer switch. Okay, bridge and two-layer switch. So that works on this physical and data link layer. Then router or three-layer switch. Now these devices, they are very advanced devices. They work, one device can work as a bridge. The switch can work as a bridge also. It can work as a switch also. And then router or three-layer switch that works on the network layer. And then gateway, that gateway connects, try to, what we'll say, different segments, different types of network. It will try to interconnect different standards together. Okay, so first we will, these are, if you want to connect computers within a LAN, we generally use hub. When you want to connect LAN to LAN, we use bridge. We want to connect a segment of LAN, we use switch. And we use, well, when we want to connect our LAN to the internet, to the network WAN, then we use router. These are the general purpose, but you can use these devices for different purposes also. So repeater is a device when you are transmitting a data over a long distance. So because of that long distance or from one segment, your signal can be faded because of the noise or other external external factors. So your signal can be corrupted. So this repeater will just regenerate that signal. It won't do anything. It is like amplifier, amplifier. It will amplify the signal, but this repeater will just regenerate your signal, which is already corrupted or faded because of some reason. So that is repeater. Then hub. Hub is when you want to connect two or more workstations into a LAN. You remember our star topology where you want to connect multiple devices forming a star topology. So there you will use a hub. Now these devices are not directly connected to each other. If this device A wants to send something to this device B, that information has to go via this hub. So that information will be given to the hub. Hub will transmit that information to this computer. Okay. So that at that reason, at that purpose, we use hubs. These are different types of hubs. This is a LAN hub. This is a USB hub. Just only the connector type is different. Here you connect, you can connect USB. Here you can connect that LAN cables. Then bridge. If you
Hubs like a router, right?
no. Hub has nothing to do with like a router. Router is different thing. Router is much smarter than hub. Hub is just when you want to connect two devices with each other. Okay. Instead of connecting directly, if you are having a bus topology, then these devices will be connected together. But when you are using a star topology, so these devices are not directly connected. So you'll place in between one device, and on one interface, these devices will be connected, and to other interface, these devices will be connected. So all information will pass through this hub. Okay, router
Okay.
is much higher level. Router connects our LAN to the WAN, and hub connects devices to form a LAN. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
So, and bridge is when you have two LANs, two different networks, and when you want to forward those frames from one network to another. So here you can see this is one network. Which topology is this? Which topology is used here in this network
Bus.
and in this
Bus.
bus
Bus.
topology? Bus topology. And when we want to send something from this network part of the segment, this network to this network, we can connect them using the bridge. So this network is connected on this port number, and this is connected on this port number. So if suppose F wants to send something to A, now that information will come to the bridge. Bridge has its own table. Okay. On that table, it will find out. See how it will. So it will find out that this MAC address is on which port number, and it will forward that information to that machine. Okay. And this bridge has this table. We call it as a bridge table. Bridge table. In that it has the MAC addresses of all the machine, and those MAC addresses, those machines are connected on which port number. Now suppose this machine wants to send something to this machine, first machine. This fourth machine wants to send something to the first machine. It will send that packet to the bridge. Now bridge will check the MAC address of this first machine, and this is connected on this port, so it will forward that information to port number 1. Okay. It cannot change this MAC address. It can look into this MAC address, find out on which port it is connected, and it will forward that information there. Okay. And it knows where it is connected. See, if it has send something to A to D, so that information can pass directly. So this bridge will not pass to another network. It can go directly. But if it has to pass something which is on the another side of the network, then it will look into the bridge table and forward it to this different port, and through which it will reach. Now, how this bridge database will be, that bridge table we are calling now. So how that database is created. First thing is, when you are setting up the network, so our system administrator can create that table and maintain the database, like on which port, which network address, which device is connected, like that. Okay. Or your bridge can be smart, like you make it smart bridge. So automatically when any packet is coming, it will look into the packet. अच्छा ये इधर से आया है, इस पोर्ट नंबर पे है, तो वो he will write that information. See, this packet I received, this is a MAC address, or on which this port number it is connected to me. So that information it will automatically update in that bridge table. So next time if any packet will come for that MAC address, it will look into its table and find out the port number and forward on that port. Okay. And bridge can interconnect to identical LANs also, like here CSMA. This is a different protocols which they use, is like they use stick token ring, they can use Ethernet, they can use CSMA CD. So this we will study in detail. So if you are not understanding these few terminologies, it's okay. Okay. So this CSMA CD is a one type of LAN. This is a LAN which is using this CSMA CD protocol, and this is using CSMA CD. This CSMA CD is when you are having a um, common interface on which you transmit the data, like in the bus topology, there is a one common line. So there, before sending something, you have to check whether that line is free or not. So for that, this is a CSMACD, carrier sense multiple access collision detection. Like first you sense whether that line is free or not. If it is free, then you transmit. Okay, so that is a CSMACD. So these two LANs, they use the same protocol. So bridge can use to connect these two identical LAN, and it can use to connect to dissimilar LAN also. So here this is a CSMA-CD LAN. It means it is using this protocol, and this token ring LAN, it is a ring top. It is using the top ring topology, and the protocol it is using is a token ring. Okay, so this token ring is having different formats, frame formats. The CSMA CD is having different frame format because these are two different protocols. Now this bridge has to convert that frame format into the destination frame format. So if something is sent from this token ring network, it is following the token ring frame format. Now this frame format is received on this bridge. Bridge knows that the destination machine is using CSMACD protocol. So it will convert that token ring frame format into CSMACD frame format and then forward. Okay. So that is also task of the bridge. कुछ समझ नहीं आ रहा हो, स्लो डाउन होना हो, रिपीट करना हो, then you can tell me. Okay. Then transparent bridge. These are like a smart bridges. Okay. You don't have to tell them what to do. They will learn automatically. They will observe the traffic and build their own routing table. Okay. This is like backward learning, machine learning. Basically, you can say sort of machine learning they are using, because whenever they receive any packet now, they will look into the address. Okay, this is a MAC address and it is coming on from this side, on this port number it is received, so that they will make an entry into that. Okay, key this MAC address is on this port number. Again, if they receive some packet, again they will store this information, and continuously they will continue to update their bridge tables. Okay, that we call it as a transparent bridge. Okay, and they are generally used in this CSMA CD LANs. Then source routing bridge. If you are using a token ring, in that case, if this device wants to send something to this device, then this device has to tell the complete path how to reach this. The bridge won't do anything. If you tell like you go to this place, to this and to reach there, then the bridge will send you a packet. Otherwise it won't send. Okay, so that is known as source routing bridge, and these are found in token ring networks. Here they will not learn anything from watching table. If you want to send something, you tell the complete path, exact path, then only it will send. And if the workstations, what happened, like that machine which want to send something, it doesn't know where is that machine, it doesn't know the path, so it send a discovery frame. Discovery frame, it is like it will broadcast, where are you, or this particular MAC address, I'm looking for this particular MAC address, where are you connected. So that MAC address will go to the next machine. The next machine is not, because in the token ring everything is connected into circle. The next machine is that MAC address, no, then it forward, it store that its MAC address and forward to the next machine is not that machine, then it will write its own MAC address and go to the next machine. The next machine is that destination machine for which you are looking, then that will reply. So while replying, it will tell the exact path कि कौन सी मशीन से कौन सी मशीन, कौन सी मशीन से कौन सी मशीन पे जाके तुम्हें वहां पहुंचना है. So that is a discovery frame. Okay, कि कैसे 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 जाना है, and once you know that path, then you have to tell the complete path to the bridge, then only bridge will forward your packet. So that is source routing bridge. Remote bridge is when you want to connect to LAN, but they are at the two different distance places. Okay, so in that case you need to use the WAN also. So the bridge will convert or encapsulate the LAN header into the WAN header, and then it will transmit. Okay, now comes router. First we'll discuss router and then we'll come back to this difference. Now switch. Switch is a combination of hub a bridge. So you can say bridge is smarter than hub, switch is smarter than bridge. And it can connect two or more workstations. Now these switches, they work as a bridge also, and they work as a switches also. Okay, so these are the different types of switch. So in our LAN labs we are using bridges or switches. In our labs, have you seen our labs? We are using bridges or switches.
Switches.
We are using switches, yes. Okay, this is how you will find out. वो अपना machine पे in the lab there will be two switches kept and all the cables coming here like this. Okay, so these are different types of switches. It can be 24 port depending on that port number. It can connect. If it is a 24 port, then it can connect 24 machines to the LAN in that particular lab. Okay, and they operates at the data link layer and the network layer. They record the MAC address. Almost the function is similar to bridge. They have their own switch table. There they store all this information. So it when the packet is coming or frame, it will look into that on which port number it is connected, and it has its own switch table. It will find out where this particular machine is connected on which particular port, and then it will forward. Okay. So this is how you can connect different workstations. So here, this is one type of network using a hub. This is one type, or this is one. These three networks together you can connect using the switch. Okay. So if anything, this machine wants to send something to this machine, then this will forward to this switch. Switch will find out where this machine is connected on which port number, then it will forward to the hub. Hub will find out where this machine is connected to this port, and then it will forward to that machine. Okay. And in the switch you can connect few machines, you can connect directly to port numbers and another network on one port number here. So this is a dedicated segment, and this is another part of the segment which is connected only on a port. Now you can connect switch using the servers also. So here we are having two servers, and these are the different workstations. So this, if you want to search something on this server, so you this on this port number you send the information to the switch. Switch will find out where the server is connected and forward your query to the server. Okay, and you can have two different NICs if you are using two LAN cards in any server. So every LAN card will have a different individual connection to this switch. Okay. So if it is using two NICs, so it will have two different connection in this switch on two different ports. And you can connect like remote bridge and switch. So here, this is one network in one city. This is the our same network in another city. Then all these are connected to the switch. The switch is connected to the remote bridge. Then remote bridge is connected to the network which we have for the internet connectivity. Then it will go to the remote bridge, and there it is. Will go to the workstation and the server. Okay, and here you can have multiple access to email server also. Like this email server is using three different NICs, each for different department. So this switch can connect these one server on different three different interfaces, different ports. Then full duplex switch is like the simultaneously you want to send and receive. Then you need two pairs of the LAN, two pairs of the cable. First pair to send, second pair to receive. So now this machine is having two pairs. One pair is to transmit, one pair is to receive. So it can receive and transmit at the same time. So that is known as full duplex switch. Okay. Then is this clear? Anything? Should I repeat, slow down? Something is required or continue? No doubt. Everything is clear. Now this routers, the routers, they connect our LAN to WAN, okay, local area network to wide area network to internet mainly, and they uses this IP address. Okay, and this router will, when any packet will come to this router, it will remove the LAN headers, trailers, and encapsulate, put that part into the WAN header because it has to forward that to the network. Okay, and these routers, they are very smart devices, and they have to find out the, they have to make the routing decision also, because the router are the devices, they know on which particular network this particular device is connected and how to reach there. So if we have to go to our college from your location wherever you are, so you have to find out the best path. We may be connected to through different path to our college, like we can go first by train, by bus, or by our local transport. Then if I have to go by train, then which from my home to I have to go to the my nearest station, catch the train towards CST or Churchgate. Then where I have to get down. Then from there, where how I have to go and reach. So this is routing decision. To reach a particular destination, we need to find out like यहाँ से कहाँ जाना है, कहाँ से कहाँ जाना, like that. The same way, when we transmit something on the network, the router will find out the shortest path, and then it will forward. Like if you have to reach there, how you will send those packets. Okay. So generally, this can act as a access point also in our homes. We are having like routers like this, which is connected to the wired network, because with the router, the place which we are having, that is connected, that is coming through wired connection. Our devices are connected through wireless communication to that access point, to the router which we are having our generally in our home. So router can connect to multiple switches, switch can connect to multiple hubs can connect to multiple devices, or multiple devices can be used to, this bridge can be used to connect to multiple devices. This is yes, I hope no doubt. So we'll proceed. Okay. Then gateway. Route generally we call it as a gateway and router, but this gateway is used to connect to the network layer, the above layers of the network layer. Gateway is like an entry point, okay, for our network to the internet. So if I send anything, any packet on the internet, first destination for my packet will be the gateway. From my machine, it will go to the gateway, and we call it as a default gateway. So I showed you the IP address of the default gateway, na? So that is a default address. So whatever packet I send on the internet, first they will go to the default gateway. Gateway will find out where it has to be sent to the next. Okay. And similarly, when any packet from the internet comes for my machine, first it will reach via to my gateway, and my gateway will find out my machine and forward that packet to my machine. Okay. So that we can say entry and exit point of any network. Okay. And all the data is routed through inward, outward, in any way it is going through that gateway only. Okay. And the gateway which is directly connected, we call it as a default gateway, and it has an IP address, and every device, our devices, has that IP address stored in their routing table. So even if you give IP config command, you will find out that gateway address, because my machine should know if I'm sending something on the internet where it should go first. So it will go first to the gateway, then gateway to the next router. These are the different symbols of different devices. This is a symbol of hub, this is a symbol of switch, this is a router, and this is a symbol of bridge. Okay, so generally bridge for LANs and hubs, switch for LANs and workstations, routers for LANs and WANs. This is general categorization. Okay. Yes, any doubt? What is difference between router and modem? What modem does generally? What that modem does generally? It modulate and demodulate the signals, no? It convert that signals, modulate and demodulate. Modulate and demodulate means the converting the signals, analog to digital, digital to analog, like that. Okay, to convert that into the my machine understandable language, and whatever my machine is sending to the understandable by the network, because 01 cannot travel on the network. Okay, and my machine cannot understand that high low, that analog modulation, analog signal. Okay, so that mode it will modulate and demodulate those things. Okay, router is a smart device which connect our LANs, our workstations, our segment of LANs to the wide area network, to the WANs, to at the bigger layer, okay, to the internet. Okay, and the routers, they have their own intelligence. They work on different routing protocols. Okay, and these routers, they communicate with each other and they continue to build that routing table. So that's why even if my machine is moved from this network, my home network, to office network, still the if you are sending something on my IP address, still that data will reach to my machine based on the information that router continuously collect. Okay, so they continuously build their database, they communicate to each other. Now again, there are multiple ways to reach to a particular machine, but that router will find out the shortest path to reach and then forward that packet. So router is much smarter device. So if you consider all these devices smartness wise, so router is the smartest out of these devices. Okay. Any doubt?
Ma'am, can you please show me the symbols again?
Okay. Yeah. These are the journal symbols like which are used. If something is like one arrow, that is a hub. This is a switch. This is a router, and this is a bridge. Okay.
Okay.
Now you know about LAN, WAN, MAN.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So you have studied in some some subject.
P.Com, ma'am. I did.
Okay, you know now. Then it's okay. Then I'll just give a brief introduction about that LAN, WAN, MAN. Computer network. What you already know, when we interconnect two or more devices through copper wire, fiber optics, microwave, infrared, satellite, like wired and wireless thing. So that we call it as a network. Okay, so generally this network can be LAN, MAN, WAN, and PAN, personal area network. Personal area network is like you connect few devices using Bluetooth, or I connect my machine with the Bluetooth laptop and Bluetooth mouse, wireless device. So that is a small network we are making. That is a PAN. Okay, personal area network. Then LAN, we call it as a local area network. And when the devices, they are geographically close together, like we want to, a few machines are in a single room or in a single lab or in a single campus, we connect them. Okay, so that we form a LAN. So in our labs, we are having LANs, and speed is 100 Mbps to gigabits, and upper limit of the distance can be 10 kilometer from 1 kilometer. Okay, or we can use twisted pair cable or coaxial cable to connect. Okay, so LANs, it is used to interconnect, like these workstations we can connect together, it will form a LAN. Then we can connect that LAN to the router or to the gateway, and then gateway will forward connect us to the internet. Okay, so this is how, if this we are using a wired router, we can connect multiple devices on different ports. Now, advantage, disadvantage, both, that post sharing information, all that information, all the merits which are of the networking. Okay, but again, it is difficult to maintain. The security procedure should be taken care. Okay, and if there is a fault, the user should be able to find out, diagnose that fault. Because of that, the connectivity can be lost. Hmm. Now, topologies, we already know: bus topology, ring topology, star topology. These are the topologies used by the LAN networks. This is how we connect multiple devices using a bus topology, and this becomes a LAN. This is how we connect multiple devices using a central device, we call it as a hub, and this becomes a LAN. Now we can connect multiple devices in a ring form, and we call it as a ring topology. So token ring. So here this is known as token ring network. This is known as CSMA-CD network. Then if it is using CSMA-CD protocol, okay, Ethernet also. This is known as Ethernet. So if it has to send something to this network, then this the format which it is using should be changed to a format which is used in this network. Okay, so that we studied that bridge, transparent bridge, source routing bridge. So source routing bridge is used here in the ring topology. So now this node B wants to send something to node this. So it has to send the complete path how to reach this node. Okay, otherwise that bridge which is working here won't find out. But if you are connected transparent bridge in this CSMACD, the transparent bridge will automatically learn where this device is connected on which port, and it will automatically forward that information. Now, man, if you are having a office spread it over entire city, then we can connect all those through the central office. So we call it as a man. Generally, our cable connections, that is an example of man, because the all the cable connections, they are connected to each other and they are receiving the signal through the satellite. Okay. So cable television network, that is an example. It can the range can be up to 100 kilometer, and we can use uh, dual side also. One side is for receiving, another side is for transmitting. Okay. Advantage, disadvantage. These are just advantage. It is good, but again, cable is required more and difficult to protect it from the hackers, because now that area is out of your reach. It is spread into the 100 kilometers. You cannot protect every part, every cable physically. Okay, so somebody can tap into your things or can listen or spy on those things. So providing security is difficult in the man. Then comes WAN. We connect all the branches in one country or in the one continent or in the entire world. This is how, like, cellular connection communication through the satellite communication, like this is just an example of WAN. Okay, so range can be beyond 100 kilometers. Advantage, we already know that we all are using connected to the internet. So internet is the example of this WAN, and we can be connected to any device, any machine, anywhere in the world. We can transmit any data. But again, the disadvantage is you need a firewall, because once you are connected to the entire network, entire world, that time anything can enter into your network. So you need to filter it out. What you have to take inside your network, what you have to filter that out. But again, the maintaining this network is a full-time job. It needs a lot. So how this is maintained? This is maintained by at a small scale to upper scale. Like, what the network connection is coming to our home is maintained by the service provider, to which through which we are taking the service. That is maintaining that service between you and that service provider. Now that service provider is connected to the, that is a local service provider. Then that service provider can be connected to the area service providers. Now that area service provider is connected to the regional service provider, then regional service provider, then national service provider, like that. Okay, so this is how we all are connected. Okay, anywhere in the world. So in the WAN, these are the different technologies which are used: ISDN, SMDC, SDLC, HDLC, SONET, frame relay. We don't have to study them, but we should just know these are the different techniques which are used, technologies which are used by WAN. Okay, this is how generally uh, this telephone network circuit switch things, because initially when this network thing was came into the picture, they used the existing infrastructure of the telephone lines. You remember our landline phones, wo jo ghar mein aata tha cable. So that through that landline phones, for that telephone connection, that infrastructure was already there, was those telephone lines were already there. So that infrastructure was used to transmit the data. So that was known as telephone network or circuit switch networks. Okay. this is the just a brief summary of this LAN WAN MAN. I'm not going in detail for this. Okay. So now you tell me any doubt in whatever we have studied, whatever we have discussed. Is this clear to everyone? Yes, anyone has any doubt? Should I repeat something? Mm. So this is syllabus, our syllabus. Mm. In this, we have discussed our this first part. Okay, TCP/IP comparison, networking devices, all this we have discussed. Okay. Now in this second unit, this physical layer, this part I'm not going to discuss, at least for right now. Okay. Guided media, unguided media, wireless transmission, electromagnetic spectrum. Have you studied this part in any subject? Have you any idea about this? That coaxial cable, twisted pair, blue. So you have basic idea. So in this part, okay? Nothing to explain, and we have so many other things to explain. Our syllabus is so vast. So directly, I will start with our this DLL design issues. Once I'll finish this, then we will come back to this switching and structure of the switch. Okay. So next lab onwards, next class onwards, we will start with this data link layer. Okay, and once we'll finish this basic concept of this, then I'll teach you this switching and this structure of a switch. And this first part, the physical layer, guided media and guided media. But see, right, this year I cannot say what will be your exam pattern, okay, because syllabus is changed. But if I tell you about all previous years, out of this, one question is 100% on this OSI TCP/IP model. That's 7 layers or comparison between OSI and TCP/IP. 100%. Then one small question for this your networking devices. It can be on all networking devices or it can be individual on router, bridge, switch, hub, or comparison of any two networking devices. Okay. So one question is on that. Then one question is 100% on this guided, unguided media, wired transmission, wireless transmissions, all this based on this. Okay. And one small question on the topology. So whatever I'm telling you, just write it down somewhere. See, this time again, I cannot say ki is the same thing is going to happen because they have changed the syllabus scheme. Syllabus is same, but scheme they have changed. So again, they might change the pattern also. That I don't know. But from the previous years, this was the pattern. These from the whatever topic we have studied, out of this, at least 15 to 20 marks ka question directly. Okay. Now next, we will start this DLL design issues. So any doubt, anyone wants to say something? Have any issue? Any concern?